He started on Broadway, then burst onto the screen with breakout roles in shows like Girls and Black Monday.
Well, now he's reprising his role as Larry in the new film The Boys and the Band, based on the Tony Award-winning Broadway show. When Larry and his boyfriend arrive at a friend's birthday party, an old flame could spell trouble.
Here, I'll take those. Emery, where's your present?
It's arriving later.
Larry.
What?
Give Michael the gift.
Oh, here. Louder so my mother in Philadelphia can hear you.
You're just standing there in a trance.
Was I?
You both know Donald, don't you?
Sure. Nice to see you. Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you'd met.
Well, we haven't exactly met, but we've... Hi.
Hi.
But you've what?
Ooh, Andrew joins us now. I actually want to just sit and watch the rest of it. I'm like, let's just keep it going. Congratulations on the film. The show originally debuted in 1968. You and the rest of the cast starred in the Broadway revival in 2018. And 1 year later, everyone reconvened to film the movie.
We're all there. Yes. Just really, very quickly, I just want to say thank you so much for doing that segment about the Trevor Project.
Absolutely.
It's an organization that I work with a lot. And it's just so great that you have put a spotlight on it today.
Absolutely.
I was just very moved and excited to share some attention with them. So yes, so Boys in the Band. Yes, we did it on Broadway in 2018, and remarkably, the entire cast got to come back and make this film last summer. So it was a really unique experience because that's very rare that you would get to do, you know, the stage version and then all be asked back to do the film. So, yeah.
And in a sense, it gives you a chance to almost in a way memorialize these performances because, you know, a Broadway show, it's ephemeral. It's done. And then that's done. But what were the differences doing it for camera as opposed to being on stage?
Well, we have a brilliant director, Joe Mantello, who directed the Broadway show and then directed the film. And I guess, I mean, most importantly, I'm so excited that Mark Crowley, who wrote the show, who unfortunately passed away in March, was able to see this revival and to see that that it was seen by a younger generation and sort of maybe heard in a different way than it was in 1968. And I think people accepted it in a different way than they did in 1968. And it was so thrilling to get to witness him witness this. He was such a sweet, kind, generous man. And we all miss him very much. But the fact that he got to see that his play 50 years later is still having the same impact or a different impact than it did, you know, in 1968 was very satisfying to see. But I didn't answer your question, Al.
But that's okay.
That's fine. We like your answer.
What you said.
I started talking about Mark Crowley, but I do hear you.
Thank you, Andrew.
I want to be your friend. Andrew, I also want to ask you about Black Monday. You star in, you produce it, which, I mean, it chronicles the worst stock market crash in Wall Street history in the 1980s. Second season just recently finished airing. Can you tell us any plans for a third season?
Yeah, I think that, you know, we're, you know, fingers crossed. I think, you know, as we all know, everything sort of got put on pause for a bit. But we,
oh my gosh, will you be my friend?
But well, hopefully, yes, we'll be starting up again and get to do that. But, you know, everyone's in a little bit of limbo right now. But we'll be back. We'll be back.
I just love watching your face.
No, you're so delightful. It says New York City under your name. So if you see this random little brown girl like stalking, it's me because I just want to be your friend. Andrew,
I want to be your friend. And by the way, I've tried intermittent fasting and it sucks.
Really?
It's not. Yes. It's like basically it's just like not eating.
So it's official. It doesn't work.
How good is Andrew Rannells? He reaches back 3 segments and brings it forward. You are the man.
You know what? Al is going to sing you some chips, Andrew. That's how much you are part of the family.
Big
You
can
can
of
eat
chips.
them whenever you want. They're the best chips you've ever had in your life.
Hey, I'm Andrew Rannells, and this is what I watch.
What I watch when I need comfort food is 30 Rock. I will rewatch 30 Rock again and again and again and again. And I've been doing it a lot recently, actually. It's so funny and it's so smart and it makes me laugh every time. And I can watch the same episode a lot and it just always brings me great joy and great comfort. There are a lot of favorite moments from 30 Rock. I love Jane Krakowski and ego of her character Jenna, and like the way that she's so like confident but vapid. I think is so hilarious. And I do have a favorite line. She's talking about aging in the business, and she says, "I don't want to lose a push-up contest to Julie Bowen to see who gets to be Kevin James' mean wife who he's tired of having sex with."
Instead of losing a push-up contest to Julie Bowen to see who gets to play Kevin James's mean wife who he's sick of having sex with.
Which I just think is such a genius line. What I watch that might surprise people, I don't know if I can admit this. I will watch American Ninja Warrior, and I will watch it, I don't know. I think because it's like, it's things that I could never do. It's like just impossible feats of strength and endurance that I'm like, how's anyone doing that? So I find it weirdly like, it's like escapism television that you can watch it and just be like, well, I can't do that. Yeah, I really get a kick out of it. What I watch that reminds me of my childhood would be Little House on the Prairie. Even though I'm from Nebraska, but not really from the prairies. There's something very cozy about it and just simpler times. Even though it was always like the stakes on the prairie were always so high. People there were always fires or people going blind or, like getting attacked in the woods. Like there were crazy things were going down in the prairie. I guess it's a little like Sex and the City that like everyone thinks they're Carrie. It's like everyone thinks they're Laura. So I guess I would be Laura because I'm the lead. What I watch when I need a good cry would be ER, particularly like the season where Maura Tierney's mother is played by Sally Field and she has dementia. Ooh, woof. That's Maura Tierney, first of all, I'm just in love with, and Sally Field, like, obviously. But that storyline and that season was just heartbreaking, and I remember just, like, sobbing to it. What I watched when I was prepping for the prom, oddly Sex and the City, and I know that doesn't make sense, because it's not really, I mean, the prom is about these four sort of very narcissistic Broadway actors who go to the Midwest to try to save this young girl who's denied access to her prom because she's a lesbian. But there's, the camaraderie that different types of characters I did find to be oddly helpful because, there are four of us. It's Meryl Streep and James Corden and Nicole Kidman and oddly me. Which one doesn't fit in that picture? It's me. But it was just a good reminder of like how to find your place and like don't step on anyone else's toes and basically stay in your lane, but be, collaborative and supportive, but also like know what you're supposed to be, know what you're bringing to the table. I guess that was the good reminder for that. I mean, again, like Sex and the City, everyone thinks that they're Carrie, but obviously Meryl Streep is Carrie in this situation. I guess I would have been, who would I have been? Charlotte with the Samantha Rising, I think is the way to go. Yeah. When Ryan asked me to be in the prom, I was obviously blown away by it because of the cast. Meryl Streep and Nicole Kidman and James Corden. I was like, what? But also getting the chance to do a big movie musical. I mean, I've obviously done a lot of musicals in my career, but on Broadway. And I've never done anything like that on film before. So that was really exciting. The idea that I would get to do like big production numbers in a film was really exciting because I grew up watching movie musicals and, always wanted to be in one. So now I got to be in one, which is pretty cool. That whole cast was so fantastic. And I think that the thing that was so exciting when we started was we were lucky enough to have like a long rehearsal period to get through all the dance numbers and, you know, the music and everything. And I mean, the first day that we had, you know, we learned a dance together, like everybody was just, you know, actors doing it. We're just all there. There was no ego. There was no, you know, there was no horror story about like anybody being demanding or anything like that. They were just like all there to do the same job. And it just felt really collaborative and fun that I was like, oh, we're all on the same team. What did I watch for the music? You know what I watched recently that I thought had such a great soundtrack to and so unexpected was Euphoria on HBO. It was always really great and really unexpected. And the way they used music in that show, I just thought was how everyone should use music. It like was helpful to the story. It was elicited a lot of emotion. It was yeah, I thought that they really nailed that. Whoever their music supervisor was, well done. What I watched for the theme song would be, I think, Growing Pains.
That smile, show me that smile. Don't waste another minute on your crying.
It's such a good theme song. Yeah, I've attempted it at karaoke a few times. It always kills. What I watch that I'm obsessed with right now, like the rest of the world, is The Queen's Gambit on Netflix. And it's great because like it's at the bottom of it, it's just a story about a woman who develops a skill that she doesn't know that she has. Now, granted, it involves some drug use, but ultimately, she's just very successful because she works hard at it. And I really got sucked into that whole world. And I know nothing about chess, nor am I really interested in chess. But man, I really love it.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Find your favorite recipes, celebrity interviews, uplifting stories, shop our favorite deals, and so much more with the Today app. Download it now.